How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. I am the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, the one and only. There have been none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, I am the only one, the big guy, Jake Covey. And welcome to Wrestling Made Simple again. It's going to be a good week in wrestling. We got the news of the week, followed by your Raw and SmackDown reviews, followed by a review of WrestleMania 9, the worst WrestleMania of all time, apparently. Then, of course, we got a reading from the Book of Rules. We got the WrestleMania card, as I see it right now, of all the cards, of the matches that have been announced, what's been confirmed by Fightful and Dave Meltzer, and a bit of things I imagine will be thrown in at the end. We also have a final review on WWE 2K22. And we also have a reading from the Book of Rules. Finally, we have your Battle Droid of the Week. But let's get into the news this week as huge news! It has been confirmed by Dave Meltzer, by Fightful, by every single newsletter in wrestling. Cody Rhodes is back in WWE, ladies and gentlemen. It's official. The Nightmare has re-signed with WWE. This is the first big person to jump ship from AEW to WWE. I don't know how to feel. I like Cody Rhodes. I think he's a great talent. But the way he pictured himself in AEW, it just didn't seem to sync up. So, I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't. Well, I want him to have a great career in WWE, and I'm excited for what could be at WrestleMania. I'm also dreading what could be at WrestleMania, if you know what I mean. A lot of shit could go down with Cody Rhodes in WWE. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But let's get into your stories, as WrestleMania is less than 2 weeks away, and WWE has not even sold enough tickets to sell out one night of WrestleMania. WrestleMania 38 is expected to hold 63,000, about, maybe 64,000 if you round up, with COVID restrictions, because masks aren't really required in Dallas, Texas. So you're still separating some seats. You'll still have probably a seat gap between you and the person next to you if you're not in the same party. But 63,000 per night is what's supposed to be. And between night 1 and 2, they have sold 58,000. Is this the end of WWE hosting WrestleManias in football stadiums? I don't know if it's more because of COVID, of people still being afraid to go out and have a good time and are still afraid of large gatherings, so I can't blame them on the low ticket sales for if they had it for last year and this year. But at the same time, I'm also looking at it as this could be a real detriment for WWE, because they could lose a lot of money hosting WrestleMania in AT&T Stadium because of this. And it makes you wonder what's going to happen next year when they're hosting it in the $5 billion stadium that is SoFi. So this could really detriment WWE going further, but there's still a lot of time to sell all those tickets. Yeah, the resale market is doing very well. I know a lot of people get their tickets from a lot of resale apps, and they're saving a lot of money on it, so maybe they will just wait till a couple days before and get their tickets then. So maybe that's what everybody's doing. And your next story, Omos is apparently getting a WrestleMania singles match against Bobby Lashley. That is the talk going around. Fightful has confirmed Bobby Lashley and Omos was on the card during the weekend. It was on a confirmed card of Omos versus Bobby Lashley. We have not seen Bobby Lashley since the Elimination Chamber, where he was written out due to a fake concussion. Apparently he needed time to rest up. I believe it was an arm injury. But we haven't seen him since. It was a shoulder injury. So we haven't seen him since, but apparently he is due for a big match with Omos at WrestleMania. I don't know if that'll be on the pre-show or what, but Omos was my pick to win the Andre Giant Battle Royal, which was kind of advertised during Monday Night Raw this week, but there's still a lot of time before they confirm that. But they are really adding a lot of matches to WrestleMania, so that's something that should be watched. They need to watch the number of matches on the card. But that's enough with the news. Let's get into the fun shit. Let's get into your SmackDown review, ladies and gentlemen. SmackDown kicked off with Roman Reigns in the ring, saying he is excited to see Brock Lesnar since Madison Square Garden when he smashed him and drew blood from the Beast Incarnate. So that was a really cool one to see. It was cool to see Roman Reigns kind of talk. And as he's talking, Paul Heyman then grabs his phone and says that Brock Lesnar will not be here due to a freak storm that came into Saskatchewan. So he would not be able to come to SmackDown. Apparently, Roman expected this, started laughing. He said, I was ready for him too. I was ready to smash him again. But as he's getting ready for it, Paul Heyman grabs his phone and says, Tribal Chief, I have another update. And Roman Reigns is completely ignoring him, just not letting him even speak, not letting Paul Heyman even get a word in edgewise. And finally he looks at him, what is it, wise man? What's going on? And it says, Brock Lesnar's plane has landed, and he is on his way. And Roman Reigns says, on his way where? And you see Paul Heyman get flabbergasted. He's on his way here right now. He's on his way here. Oh my God. It was very funny to see Roman Reigns because he had fear in his eyes. It was cool because the bloodline was all running. They got into an Escalade. And as they get into the Escalade, a forklift comes and destroys the Escalade. Who's driving the forklift but Brock Lesnar? Thank God the bloodline got out of the way because it would have taken out, I don't know which Uso was driving because they were both, like it was hard to see. I think it was Jimmy, it might have been Jay, but I think it was Jimmy was driving. And the forklift would have taken his head off if he was actually in the driver's seat. So that was a little filming error by WWE. Thank God he wasn't in the driver's seat. They then escaped the car. The best part was the Usos yelling, come on, wise man, get out of the car. Come on, wise man, come on. Them yelling that made me laugh so fucking hard. I almost pissed myself. I was laughing so hard. It was so good of just hearing, come on, wise man, run. And they finally get in a Silverado. I think it was a Silverado. I don't know. That's what they said on commentary. A truck with suicide doors. They get in and speed off, but Brock Lesnar grabs the doors and rips one off, and he actually carries it to the ring, and he basically came out and just said, WrestleMania, in 2 weeks, there will be no escape, there will be nowhere to run from Brock Lesnar. The talk is, they might change this to a Hell in a Cell match. That's what's the rumor going around on Twitter. That I didn't just start because I want to see a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. It's going on between fans of people saying, oh, they might turn this into a Hell in a Cell match. If they do, I would be ecstatic because that would take the Usos out of it. Roman Reigns can actually get over really clean over Brock Lesnar, and it would be a great match. I think Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar Hell in a Cell match would put an end to the feud. Roman Reigns wins clean and actually finally gets the WrestleMania win over Brock Lesnar to basically solidify himself as that guy. The guy who could slay anything. So I think that should really happen. After this, we got Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Los Lotharios in a tag team match. It was an okay tag team match, nothing too special. It was blink and you missed it kind of tag team match. It was just to build up Shinsuke and Rick Boogs for their tag team match at WrestleMania against the Usos. Very good work by Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. They're really trying to make Rick Boogs into this very strong guy. And I swear to God, with the straps down, if he actually were to wear tights, now that he has a short hair, is it just me or is he Rick Rude? I think that's what they're going for. I don't know, but it would be funny if he just suddenly just became a Rick Rude copy, in my opinion. I would kind of like to see it. At the same time, I wouldn't. After this, we got Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders versus Happy Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky. Apparently, Madcap Moss was supposed to be a part of this match, but they changed it at the last minute to Shanky. Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders get a win in a six-man tag. I'm not really a fan of these matches because there's so many kickouts and so many destroyed pins. I'll get into that in my review of WWE 2K22. But it was an okay match, nothing too great. It was more to build Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin at WrestleMania. And then we got a backstage segment with Sami Zayn where he challenged Johnny Knoxville to change their match at WrestleMania to Anything Goes. I love this. It's awesome because you got a segment from Johnny Knoxville later on the night, a couple matches later on, where he said, he was just like, buckle up, Buttercup. This is what I do for a living. Anything goes is my territory. See you at WrestleMania. And Johnny Knoxville has been great in this build, man. I'm not usually a fan of people coming in to wrestle, but I love Johnny Knoxville in this. He has been building this perfectly because he really is a wrestler. He is a guy who is not afraid to put his body completely on the line for the entertainment of others. So I would completely equate Johnny Knoxville to a wrestler. After this, we got a new name for Liv and Rhea Ripley. Their new team name is Live for Brutality. That is the team name of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. And Live for Brutality was able to have a match with Sasha Banks and Naomi. It was an okay match. It was building up to being a good match, but unfortunately we never got the end of it as Natalya and Shayna Baszler interfered, causing a DQ, and made it clear that they want to be added to the women's tag team match. Of course, after attacking Naomi, Sonya Deville decided that they have earned their shot, so they will be added to the match. It is now a fatal four-way at WrestleMania for the women's tag team championships. They're just really building this match. I don't know if I'm excited for it or if it's going to be a train wreck. It's can either be a great match or a train wreck. I'm going for a great match because the women involved are great workers. I haven't seen enough really from Queen Zelina to really make my assumption on it. She's only been wrestling for I've really only seen her wrestle for a couple of years. When she was a manager, she still had the Hurricane Rana, which is an amazing move for her. But there's still a little left for me to really judge how great her skills are. On the mic, amazing. Great promo work, but I don't know. There's still a lot for me to learn about Queen Zelina before I make my opinion on if she's an amazing wrestler. Carmella, I don't know what to say because I want to be a fan of hers because I was a fan of hers when she came into NXT and she really has blossomed into an amazing talent, but there's still a lot left to work on for Carmella. A lot. I mean, don't get me wrong that she's always in the title picture no matter what. It's because she has something to really offer, not just in promo work, but just as a heel, she's a great heel. I think